All right, guys, so now we're going to do the profile image, but before I do that, I just want to mention that I had made a mistake by, when we created the user model, I had this as models.lowercase u, where the model name is actually uppercase. So I'm going to go back to that video where we created this and put a little note in, but just in case you guys missed that, just make sure that this is an uppercase U, okay? Because it just screwed everything up. I had to redo the video and dive in and do a little debugging. So just make sure that that's an uppercase. All right, so back to where we were. I'm going to go into the nav bar. And anytime you want to get the session in a client-side component, we simply bring in uSession, and then we define it here. In fact, I'm going to show you what that gives us. I'll do a console log right above the return of session. And if we take a look down here, you'll see it's an object that has expires, and then it has this user object, so session.user. And we have access to the email, the ID, the image, and then the name. So you can use this in any client-side component where you need it. Now, I want the image, so what I'm going to do is create a variable here called profile image. And we're going to set that to session, and we're going to use optional chaining here with the question mark. So session dot, and then we have the user object, and then dot image. And then we can check that down here, say profile image. Save that, and now you see we have the link here, the URL to the image. So what we want to do now is we'll get rid of the console log. We'll go down to where we have the image. I'm just going to search for image. That's the logo. We don't want that. So this right here, this profile default. So we're going to add profile image, or because then if that's not available, then we'll use the profile default. All right, so if I save that, we should see an error here. So this is the width error. So we can fix that by just adding, let's say width equals, we'll do 40, and let's set height equal to 40. And we should still get an error. So invalid source prop. What this means is that we can't use the domain lh3googleUserContent.com because we haven't defined it in our config file. So right here it says host name is not configured under images in your next config. So that's what we have to do, is go to our next config MJS, and the way we add this has changed in version 14. We used to just do images and then put the array of images, but now we still use images, but that's going to be an object where we then define remote patterns, which is an array of objects. And then for any source you want to use, and we'll have to do this for Cloudinary too, we have to add the protocol, which is going to be HTTPS, and then we need to add the host name, which in our case is going to be lh3.googleUserContent.com. And then we also need to just add path name, and we can set that, that shouldn't be in quotes. We can set that to just double asterisk, and that should do it. Let's save it, re-log in here. And there we go. So now I have my little icon there. If you reload, it should come back as well. All right, cool. So let's see. Obviously, we need a way to sign out. We do have this sign out link right here, but it doesn't do anything yet. So we're going to do that in the next video.